So, I've now turned 21. I feel like some people wait a long time to turn such an age, and some fear the day itself, and I can understand why. I feel like turning 21 is this age that represents a significant landmark for starting to leave your childhood behind, with this big picture of your future that lies ahead taking place of it. In all honesty, I haven't really had much time in my life to process how I feel about turning 21. I like the idea of growing up and experiencing all parts of my life with the idea that I cannot go back on any of it. But that lack of ability to go back is also what makes it so scary to me as I'm entering this new chapter of my own life. It's only now, really, where I've fully been able to understand that almost no one at this age truly knows what they are doing and where they are going. Most of us have the common end goal of buying a house, having a good job, and maybe creating a family of our own. But beyond that, we're just experiencing new parts of our life while as trying to figure out who we are and what we truly enjoy now. Since I understood most of this at an earlier age, I had made what I had thought to be the perfect plan on how I'd go about creating this future for myself back in my senior year of high school. I had told myself continuously and confidently that it was what I wanted and it was what my future self will be wanting too. I never thought that it would be easy, but I never thought that I'd now be so unsure if everything that I've done up to this point in my life would be so gray and colorless in my eyes at times. I thought I was alone for a while, thinking that I was the problem and most of my self-doubt was unique. But I've come to realize that most of my friends and peers around my age struggle with the same issue, but we all cope with it in our own ways. I hear the saying, "I miss when I was a kid," from them, and I understand why I hear it so often. For most, being a kid was a time where you don't have to worry about responsibilities, worry about where you're going in life, and making mistakes would usually have very small consequences, typically no worse than being grounded for just a week or two. But we are old now. We are grown adults. And subconsciously, it feels like we just gotta suck it up at this point. You hear the saying, you gotta act like an adult and make adult decisions with adult consequences. But we all hate hearing that because the people telling us that typically have an already established life of their own, when I personally don't know if I'll have my own house in 10 or even 20 years from now. I think what bothers me the most is when I'm told that my 20s are supposed to be the best years of my life. When I hear that, I interpret it as if I'm just being told life isn't going to get any better afterwards. And I can't help but feel like I'm one of the few that thinks that concept is just plain dumb. I remember telling myself when I was 20 that I don't want to be around if this is supposed to be the peak of my existence. I don't believe that life is never meant to be in any way better than how it once was before, and I've lived enough stories and experiences for me to be proven right again and again. Sure, I know I'll have my moments where I'm in the depths of the deep dark pit without any clear method of escaping, but everyone does end up back to the surface of that pit with enough patience. It's just your choice, as much as it is my own, to choose that once you're out of that pit, that you'd want to climb a tree higher than you did last time. I'm obviously still learning to navigate my way through being 21 and the rest of my 20s, but from what I've understood so far, that's just what most of your 20s are supposed to be about. And I say embrace it. You're only 21 for 1 year, so make it memorable.